For the second summer in a row, we are getting a later than expected start on our summer sailing season because of the continued restrictions on travel that are in place due to the COVID-19 pandemic. We're both fully vaccinated though, so we are excited to be flying into Greece. And what a beautiful flight the last half hour is. After passing over a couple favorite Ionian islands, our plane came in over the Gulf of Amvrikikos and into the airport near Preveza. All right.
Yes.
Tom is
returning once again.
Pulling up a pile of luggage. Yes.
And that's not all.
And that's not all. So yeah, we just got here to the boat. We're at Atkio Marina in Preveza, Greece. And Tom was here 3 or 4 weeks ago to get a little work done, and he took the cover off. So it's gotten a little dusty, but not bad. But it's the first time I've seen the boat in 6 months. So Tom's loading our luggage up. We have, even though he came 4 weeks ago, we have this huge one, that big one, and 2 more that he's bringing over.
Hi, I'm Tom.
And I'm Karen.
Welcome to Life 4.0, where we share our adventures of life aboard our sailboat as we explore this amazing planet, one anchorage at a time.
This summer, we're crossing much of the Mediterranean, from Greece to Italy, Malta, Spain, including out through Gibraltar Strait, then along the Portuguese coast before we finish the summer in the Galicia area of northwest Spain.
There's our baby, launching for the beginning of summer. It's June 17th, a little late for a normal summer, but happy to be here with the pandemic. All right, how do you feel? Nervous?
A little bit nervous, yeah. Always, I think the electronics are on this time. I've forgotten to put the electronics on in the past. But I think we're in good shape.
Fenders,
So,
dock lines,
Yeah, hopefully. Food. We went shopping
way
this
more
morning.
food than we need.
Yeah.
But we're excited to start the summer of 2021 sailing, launching today on June 17th.
So they transferred her to a travel lift. They're just putting the slings of the travel lift up now. And they're always really careful where they place the straps because that's going to hold the whole weight of the boat. And so they'll lift it up with this, and then that's sort of nice because we get to go straight out and forward instead of reversing out. It's always tricky when you're trying to get out of a small dock area that's shallow around, first time driving for the year, and there's a crosswind. So it will be nice just to go in forward for the first outing of the year.
Touching the water.
Right after Sea Rose was launched, we did a quick check of the engine and the bilge, and then headed south toward Lefkada and the Lefkas Canal.
All right, we're going through the canal, the Lefkas Canal. We just heard the siren go off again, so we're not sure if they're getting ready to close it, so Karen's doing full throttle here. Just opened. So we got a lot of boats going through here one time. Huh. Floating bridge to go across the Lefkas Canal. All right, we have just come through the Lefkas Canal on our first day underway, summer 2021. So it feels good to be on the go after all the work in the boatyard. The 2 weeks I spent here last month, and we had a really busy 5 days or so here before we launched this morning. So feels good. We're all systems are go. We have one solar panel that's a little finicky, so I got to look into that. But everything else is water maker's working, engine's working, all the running rigging seems to be going fine. So we got off the dock without an issue. So feeling good about that.
We're very familiar with these waters, so we wasted no time in heading towards what we knew would be a beautiful anchorage off the tiny island of Thilia, between Meganisi and Lefkada. Ah, we're back in the wonderful water of the Greek islands that we so love. We're on Thilia? Is that the name of this place?
Thilia.
Thilia. Okay. Taking a little dinghy ride. We're circumnavigating the island. This is Lefkada over there, or Lefkas. Most Greek islands have multiple names. One of these islands over here was the previous island owned by Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis. Could it be this one? No, this is, right, that's true. It's one of those up there. This one is Meganisi. And we're going to be coming back around to where we're anchored in just a moment. Okay, I think this is where we left our boat. Yeah, I see a mast coming up.
Yeah.
The front sail. Okay. Join us for dinner tonight, and they kicked us out of our boat. I do see one lone bee here. Is that a Tokos behind us, or is this a Tokos over here? Tokos, where we went last summer, is over this way. That was a cool place that had that one house bay and the pigs on the beach. So we spent 2 nights up here, anchored off of Meganisi and the small little island of Thilia.
Very quiet, nice anchorage for sleeping.
I know, yeah. I actually woke up a few times wondering if we were on the hard. So, we just put the sails up, and like every year when you put your sails up, you think you have your halyards tight enough, but you can see here along the main that we really don't have the main halyard up tight enough, nor the jib. It's a little easier to see the main because it's close. So what we'll do, this is just our first sail, usually sort of shakes things out, and then you can see, yep, we do need to tighten the halyard. So when we get into near our port, we'll end up coming up into the wind and trying to tighten the halyards with the sails flapping around. We anchor near the island of Ligia, which is tucked into a bight on the larger island of Ithaki. We hadn't yet explored this part of Ithaki, so seeing something new was great for just day 3 after our launch. We again snorkeled. How many times have we thought of these warm waters through our cold New England winter?
So I'm climbing up a little island that we anchored by last night. On Navali, it's called Lejigi, something like that. And there was a little bit of a foundation at the bottom when I first hiked up, but otherwise it looks pretty empty. Maybe somebody tried to build something on here at one point and gave up, or the construction of it went away. So it's kind of cool. It reminds me a little bit of hiking around little islands up in Maine, you come across these little islands, and it sort of have their own complete otherworldly feel to them. Self-contained, nobody on them, or nobody living on them at least. Some paths through here, as you can see, some basic paths, some of which were kind of low against the branches, so I'm assuming that they were probably paths for animals at one point, and I see a lot of scat around here. So yeah, it's kind of cool. It's like a little bit of discovery when you're on a little island like this. It's uninhabited. Sure, there's been people that have been here before, and I'll probably find some traces of humans, meaning garbage. But it's really nice to kind of discover, in a way, a new little place and have a new perspective. And just the fact that it's bound, it's like you can see all sides of it, self-contained, is neat. So a little bit of discovery this morning. Yeah, there's something peaceful about being on a little island like this that's uninhabited. It's just the beauty of the isolation, the peacefulness of it all, knowing there's no roads coming in here, no real way to have a lot of people arrive. There's a little dock down by the waterfront. Looks sort of mostly used by cruising boats, not a place to land ferries. So it's really sort of isolated, and it's hard to get away from that kind of thing in our society now, where there's always a way to travel to somewhere easily, and lots of people all around. Kind of nice to be on a self-contained little island. Have to be responsible with your own wits, making sure you know how to get back and where to go, and if you get hurt, it's you're not going to be calling 911 to get help. So really love this kind of experience. A little bit of this and a little mix of the city is a good way to go. They have a whole different kind of sound. It's other than the seagulls, it's a very, and it's like a camping sort of experience where there's just there's so much lack of sound that it's almost alarming to you in a way at first, because you're so used to some sort of background noise going on. And at certain times there's cicadas that are ringing around on the island, but right now it's just completely quiet other than the seagulls. So really, really cool.
Next up, the southwest of Kaphalonia.
The attack of the jet skis. We're leaving Sammy on Kaphalonia, and all these guys, there were 7 of them, came around the corner. It's like some James Bond movie. The Three Umbrellas Restaurant. Where did they get that name? I had to drop Karen off. This is too shallow. And we're going to check out the restaurant up here to see if they're going to be open for dinner tonight. As you can see, it's pretty shallow. Feels good though, nice and warm. Very cool. The restaurant's open. Very nice proprietor. Talking about all the fresh fish they have, and they're famous for their fish. He said something about how it's all mama cooked, so can't be bad. It almost might be even good. It's just sort of funny looking at Karen out there with the umbrellas in the water. Got some muck to walk through here. Ew. There we go. All right.
Beautifully presented fish and the freshest veggies. Homemade bread, homemade dessert, a tremendous meal with a perfect ambiance.
Somewhere out here is 3 umbrellas, but more importantly, a dinghy.
Oh, look.
Where?
I think a dinghy right straight ahead.
Oh my gosh.
And 3 umbrellas to the right.
It's low tide. We're never going to get out of here. Where is the dinghy?
Straight ahead.
Straight ahead. Okie dokie. Fishies everywhere. And a dinghy. 1, 2, 3.
3 umbrellas.
Oh, we got an anchor. We have an anchor down here somewhere. Don't get hasty. All right. Anchor's away. Here, lassie. Ugh. Oh my God. Oh. Oh.
All right, it has to be floating now, right?
Barely.
No, it is.
Is it?
Yeah.
All I see is bugs everywhere.
Yeah.
Sea Rose is a tiny dot out there in the Gulf of Argostoli, which is town is down around the corner there. This is our second night staying here. Been very, very quiet, flat water, totally flat at night, and surprisingly all alone. Even though there was a lot of reviews for this spot, I just think it's the pandemic. Not many people kind of going out of the normal, sort of more popular, more publicized places.
After a couple days at the head of the Gulf, we went into the town of Argostoli.
Out for a run this morning at Argostoli, and I'm going across this pedestrian bridge called the Duboset Bridge, built by or designed by a Swiss engineer who was part of the English army. And during the occupation, 41-43, there were explosives set up along the bridge. The Germans were planning on exploding the bridge before they left the island if they needed to. But some locals were able to dismantle it and remove the wiring. So the bridge survived, and they didn't have to reconstruct it or throw it away. So beautiful little bridge. It's very shallow water, so it's not really like, it doesn't go down very far. But so glad that it was able to be kept. It's been maintained since then, and some upgrades. They have a beautiful obelisk partway down, and just very beautiful. It kind of makes you wonder how many other things like this were actually destroyed during World War II, that all the sort of evidence is removed, and nobody, like modern, more recent people like us, don't have any knowledge of or have any ability to sort of find out clearly the history of it. So it's a treasure. Small bridge. Used to be a bridge you could drive over, but after the '53 earthquake in Kaphalonia, they had to do some more restoration, and they ended up deeming it just a pedestrian bridge after that. So beautiful spot, and you can look out over the waterfront of Argostoli. Fairly big town for this part of the Ionian, and we're tied up along the town quay over there. But as you can see, it's pretty shallow here, and actually quite shallow in the bay. There's only a very limited area along the town quay that you can get a boat in, with a depth like ours. So, beautiful spot. We're leaving here tomorrow to cross over to Sicily, and so we'll be saying goodbye to Greece. This is kind of like our disembarkation point from Greece. We will miss it greatly, and hope to come back. Argostoli's done a great job with restoration of their waterfront. They've got this inlaid stone and pattern there, and nice some kind of stone here as well, but it really is all throughout the walkway all the way down, and it looks really nice. A bunch of cafes out on the waterfront as well, as you'd expect in Greece. But yeah, big accolades to Greece for doing this kind of work on the waterfront. It really upgrades the look, and so many places along here are halfway through the construction, and you wonder if it's ever going to be done. But this one was a huge effort, it looks like, and is all complete for enjoyment of locals and tourists.
If you enjoyed this, please subscribe to our channel and click on the bell to get notified of new videos.
All
right, we are underway from Argostoli. We left at 3 a.m. and crossing over to Sicily.
Join us next time as we leave the Greek waters and cross over to the east coast of Sicily. We explore the historic city of Siracusa with the immense fortresses, stunning piazzas, and quaint alleyways. Thanks for watching.